guys, this is what I do in the morning at the homestead. The first thing I do is feed our cats. So our food for our cats are in a tin trash can, and that one is the chicken's food. This is what we feed our chickens. It's fermented feed, which consists of dry food and water. Now we pour it out in the yard once in the morning, and during the day they can feed on like bugs or grass, or occasionally kitchen scraps that we have in our house. Now we would dump it out in the yard, like I said, and then we would wash it out, get all the leftovers, and then we would refill it up with food and then cover it all in water. And then we would put the bucket at the end of our cycle here. And so
So how long of a cycle is it?
I'd say about a 3-day cycle.
Is that what you would say? About a 3-day cycle?
Yeah. So if we would use this bucket, we'd put it over there where behind this bucket would be ready for tomorrow. And then so on with this one, like after tomorrow.
Okay.
That's what we feed chickens.
Come over here. There you go. Now knock it on the ground. You can tell we have a lot of chicken food on the ground. We were gone this weekend to Houston doing some business for the homeschool store and some other little projects I had going on. And I usually hang from this homemade tripod a automatic feeder. I fill it up with chicken food, and I left it out last night, and apparently it went off this morning early before we got out here, and so now the cat's helping herself to the chicken feed, so I'm pretty sure the chickens will clean all this up. So at this point, after he had rinsed it out, what he would normally do is you can see the water line in there where all that black gunk is. He would normally put water in there, and then we would carry that into the shed and put a scoop of food in there, and then let that sit for the 3 days to ferment. But you can see the bucket's pretty nasty, and in order to keep the chickens healthy, we got to make sure that their buckets are nice and clean all the time. So release the krakens.
All right.
There's Oreo.
More, Pip. It's there.
He's hungry. So they haven't figured out the fermented feed yet. They're chomping on the stuff that was thrown out either early this morning or late last night. I'm not really sure which is which. It won't take them long to clean all this up. It'll probably take them 20 minutes or so. And then they'll start looking around for other food, and they'll find that other fermented feed, and they'll clean it up real quick. They love the stuff. There they go. They found it. So the reason we ferment our feed, it adds nutrients. It adds a lot more vitamins to it. It helps it to be a lot more digestible to the chickens. And so you have a lot less runny poops, or you have a lot less sickness in the flock. It just makes for a healthier flock. Also, there's a lot less food waste. When we were feeding them in like a regular feeder with the dry feed, they would scatter it all over the place, and there's quite a bit of waste. But they seem to like the fermented feed so much that they'll clean it up As you can see, I've got it in a line there. And what we had to do is a couple years ago, we had to dig this kind of trough through our yard to help it drain. And this is the area that I had the feed in a couple days ago. And they scratched it down to the dirt. There was grass and leaves and everything else. You can see the grass around it. They scratched it all the way down to the dirt. They got rid of all the feed and all the grass and every little piece of debris up underneath it. So whenever I want them to clear an area out in the homestead, that's where I put my feed. See? I mean, it's real nice and clean. And as you can tell, as we go further and further, look, there's leaves, grass, twigs. So, and you can kind of see this is where I put some feed the other day. So if there's grass on the fence line or around a tree that gets really out of control, I'll put feed there and they'll clean it up. Now, they didn't really do a good job here, but you can tell where I didn't put feed, where I did put feed. So they did a good job at clearing the ground wherever I want them to. So that's a good way. That's a good way to have the chickens do the work for you. So here are the waters, Eli. What's your process for the waters? Do you clean them every day, huh?
Yes, sir.
Every day. Like you get out here in the mornings and you clean them and you scrub them spotless every single day, huh?
I have to admit, not every day, but I get them done when
Yeah.
I can.
Sometimes they have to turn black and green colors before he washes them, but we're getting better. We're getting better, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we need to make sure that we keep these waters good and clean so that the chickens have nice water to drink. And then when we're gone for a long time, I'll just take a 5-gallon bucket and I'll fill it up with water and I'll just set it out for a couple days, and that's generally enough to suffice and keeps them in the water. But if we're gone longer, we usually have someone come over and fill the waters up. So it looks like the chickens have had enough food. They're coming to get their drink, and as soon as they get finished with their drink, they're going to go right back to eating. Well, thank you, Eli, for coming out here and taking care of the chickens and getting up early. What time do you get up in the mornings?
7 o'clock.
But now, since the sun's up earlier, you're going to be able to get up earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are you super happy about it?
Half and half.
Not really.
No, not really.
This is the automatic feeder that I use when we're out of town. I just kind of had a harebrained idea one time. We were in a very large, popular local store, and they were selling these things by the palletfuls for like $20. So I went ahead and got one, and it works really well. You can put 3 gallons of feed in there, which, God, for our needs, 3 gallons of feed will last 4 to 5 days. So that's good for us. If we have to run somewhere, need to break and need to go out of town to pick some things up or what have you, this will we can fill it up and hang it from that tripod and get all the chickens their food while we're gone. So that's kind of neat. Then when we get back, we pull it out, pour all the food that's left in it back into the bucket, and give them their fermented feed. So just wanted to show you guys what I did when I was out of town.